kind of segues with my way of making a living, which is a personal organizer. So when I go to people's homes, I take a before picture of all the things that are driving me crazy, and then we do our work, and then I take an after picture. So this was a toy room that was probably twice the size of this room, filled with toys, 3 kids. The daughter had 45 Barbie dolls, 20 of which I gave to Tom Deininger for one of his because I couldn't bear. We took all the clothes off and put them in a little box, and I said, this is just too amazing, we can't give this to the Salvation Army. So I sent them off to Tom Deininger, and he said, oh great, I'm just about to start a Barbie project. So the daughter kept 20. Every time the kids would come down in this room, they would fight. I mean, this is a tremendous amount of toys. And it became a kind of symbol of what happens when I work with people, is people have so much stuff, and it's full of amazing things. They're not using any of them. They can't find anything. They're stressed out. So this room became a kind of symbol of all the stuff that I do. So what I did was I took the photographs, blew them up, combined them, and then added some more things and did the paintings from that. So this one is based on basically 2 photographs. This top part and this bottom part were 2 separate photographs. But then I've added more things, like I added this, and this. I added stuff back in here. So it was a way of beginning, but basically these rooms were filled up. And when I was going around taking the photographs, I was saying, I'm just doing the before pictures, then I was like, oh, this would be such a cool thing. So I took a whole bunch of photographs. So I've done 5 of these, and those will be in the show up with Romfield and June. Romfield Gallery in June, if you ever come up to Boston. And I love doing them, but they do take a tremendous amount of time. People always say, how much time do they take? Well, this took 4 hours. And that doesn't count all the time lying in bed going, I think I need another G.I. Joe over here. Oh, God. So they're very time consuming. But I love doing them, and I'm enjoying them a lot.
Is this series you're going to do all of the toys?
Well, I have some other photographs from other places that I'm going to try to combine with the toys. Sometimes the colors don't always work, but I can always change that in Photoshop. And once I get the basic image transferred here, what I do is I put them in Photoshop, I separate them out and blow each one up, and then piece it all together, trace it, transfer it to the canvas, and then start. So the preparation in itself is a big process. And then I started taking things out. I've also started making up toys, because a lot of people get into, what's that? Well, that's G.I. Joe's backpack. I don't care about that. So I started making up some toys. So some of these, like, this is all made up. Some of this is all made up. So don't get too much into the, what is that? You know, that's not where we want to go with this. So,
now, the critic, or the juror, I guess, thought it was about consumerism. And I guess it is in some way, but it's in some level. But to me, it's more about, you know, I'm very sensitive to clutter because I like clutter and I'm a productive person, but other people say you can't be if you're living in clutter. So to me, it's more about clutter.
How about color?
everybody has this, well, part of it is that this, the reason why I like this room is because these are all beautiful colors, and you go to this room, it was well lit, the walls were yellow. It was a lovely room, and yet there was something totally depressing about it too, because these kids could not play in that room. This was only one of 3 toy rooms. You know, these kids were not happy, and they were good parents. These were good parents, but this consumption stuff that I see so many, and everybody has their own level of what they feel comfortable with, and I don't make any judgments about that. If you want to have all your stuff around you, that's fine. But these people were not happy. That's the bottom line is they're not happy. They know that these things do not make them happy, but they keep taking stuff in. So it's not about, it is in part about that, and I do discuss that with clients if they want to, because I have lots of thoughts about what we do to ourselves and what doesn't make us happy. And usually people are willing to discuss those things. But this room became like a symbol of all the stuff that I've seen. And when it all got cleaned up, the kids were so happy. And the the two boys were in their little area with their stuff, and the little girls over here with their 20 Barbie dolls, and they could have the space that they could call their own. I think it looks like this now, though, again. She hasn't called.